Meanwhile, many lawmakers want to know if anything could have been done to save more lives. In letters sent to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and the U.S. Inspector General, Congressman Greg Casar from Austin is asking for an investigation. He wants to know how alerts went out and when FEMA deployed help. I talked with him earlier today about his call for answers. Tell us a little bit about what answers you're looking for.
Well, Texans deserve answers about what went right, what went wrong, and what needs to change about the federal response to these devastating floods in Central Texas. And there's new reports that the DHS Secretary, Kristi Noem, waited 72 hours before signing off on search and rescue. And that's just far too long. So we need to make sure that there are real answers for Texans, that this doesn't get swept under the rug. And that's why I, as a member of the Oversight Committee, am asking the Inspector General here over the department to look into this. We need an independent look at this. That way, nothing gets swept under the rug, and we can learn what we need to learn for accountability, but also to keep us safe in the future.
I want to talk to you about her response. What have you heard from her thus far? Obviously, you're calling for an investigation, but what have you heard from her thus far about what took so long, why she waited?
Secretary Noem did an interview today on Fox and Friends in which she called these reports coming in. These reports are coming from her own employees and own officials speaking to the news, but she called this CNN fake news. Look, this shouldn't be about politics. This shouldn't be about going and calling things fake news. We have over 100 people dead, too many of them children, over 100 people missing. We need to be serious about this, make sure that we are completely transparent, recognize the things that went right. We need to thank the brave first responders that saved so many lives. And we need to be very clear about what went wrong, where there were delays. And frankly, at the National Weather Service, there's been over 10% of the staff that have been lost during the Trump administration because they are trying to scrap all these positions, including a meteorologist in charge of the Central Texas region. We need to ask, what impact did that have? What response could have been had quicker? What connections could have been made quicker if we'd had those staff in place? We need to learn about that, not just to respect the dead, but also there's going to be more floods and more fires and more freezes here in Texas, and we need to be better prepared.
Tell us what you expect to happen now. You all have she sent this letter out. What are the next steps? What do you anticipate, and when could you get some answers?
I've made the request for this independent investigation alongside the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, Robert Garcia. And when the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee is making a request alongside Texans, the Inspector General tends to honor those requests that are coming from the Oversight Committee. And we're asking for that investigation to be thorough and quick, because we know all too often people just try to put things under the rug, move on to the next news story. The whole country could forget about us, and we can't let the country forget about the children and the camp counselors and the seniors and the people with disabilities and all the people that lost their lives this last week.
Congressman Casar, we thank you so much for your time. You'll be able to watch more of my conversation with Congressman Casar during Texas This Week this Sunday morning at 8:40 here on KVUE.